Hey guys, it is Monday, April 10th, and this is week 13 of our weekly vlog series in 2017. So today is a happy Monday. Happy Monday, and if you're wondering why it's happy, yes, I did have to go to work today. I'm home now, but it is almost 80. It's like 78. I was just looking at the thermometer, and it feels so much better. It was so bitterly cold when we were in Williamsburg this weekend, and I think it was also cold here at home. I just wasn't here to experience it firsthand. So after 80s last week, being in the 40s that morning at Busch Gardens was kind of miserable. So now we're back to the nice 80s, and the 10-day forecast looks like low 80s as far as the eye can see. So I'm super happy about that. Otherwise, pretty uneventful day because it's a Monday. So this is dinner for tonight. This is one of those nights Brian and I can eat the same thing. These veggies you see are organic frozen vegetables, and I batch cook them, so these are just reheated. The quinoa is also pre-cooked and frozen. It's organic, and so you just sort of nuke that in the microwave with some spices. And then the fish we baked, and that's a lemon caper garlic sauce on it that took like 5 minutes to whip up. Hey guys, it's Tuesday, and I thought I would show you what it's like when you have to go outside in the pollen-covered screen porch to grill a steak. So the first process is changing shoes. I've put my hikers on to go outside, and I also moved this mat. This is actually our front door. I moved it back here so that I don't track pollen in the house. So I just ran my shoe through the pollen so you can kind of see what it's like, but it's accumulating now. Like all that around that screw there, that's pollen, that yellow. It's just everywhere now, and it's still coming down pretty good because I come out from work every day and my car is completely covered after sitting in the garage overnight not being covered. So I don't know if you can see him, but there's this would-be here. He's very unhappy with me. I have a feeling he might have a nest in our grill because he is not leaving, and he's gotten very mad since I pulled the grill out. I don't know if you'll be able to see him. He's moving too fast for me to zoom in on him. I'm waiting for the grill to get just a little warmer, and then I'll put the steak on. I marinated this, sorry for our vegetarian friends or pescatarians, I marinated this in balsamic vinegar, olive oil, garlic powder, onion powder overnight. So that's pretty much it, and these bees are really making me nervous. They're like everywhere. So I have a feeling they did have a nest inside. Thought I'd show you our azaleas in the backyard because you never see them because they're way below the deck. We have a two-story deck up, you know, the way our house is angled on the hill, it's way above the ground. So here's the steak, it's done, I'm getting it off, and the wood bees are still buzzing me, so they're very, very displeased with me. So here's the finished product. It's steak, salsa, some grilled peppers and onions, pinto beans, and rice with lime juice. I know he's a long way away and it's hard to focus this far, but there's a little bunny in the backyard eating. It's time for Easter. Hey there, it is Thursday, also known as Friday Eve. It's April 13th or 14th? 13th. I think today's the 13th. I can't ever keep up with the date. So today I worked, of course. Now I'm going to cook. It's not for dinner, it's actually a breakfast hash, and I'll show you that. But also a little bit later this evening, I'm once again going to the WDW Main Street podcast pub for ladies night. He's having Judith and I on, and also Jen from Happiest Vlogs on Earth, so that should be a lot of fun. I think we're going to talk about, it'll be out probably, well actually I'm not sure if it'll be out before this vlog. But I think we're going to talk about how we would spend $80 to eat at the Magic Kingdom for the day, and also for Hollywood Studios, so that should be a lot of fun. So this hash I'm making today is just totally made up. I've made enough breakfast hash that I have a good idea of what I like. I've got chopped no, they're not organic. I couldn't find organic. It's chopped frozen sweet potatoes. They are non-GMO, but they're not organic. Roasting in the oven at 400. And I've got, I'm putting onion in the hash, a whole container of mushrooms, a whole container of baby spinach, and then these are the spices I'm going to put in, and I do not measure, I just throw stuff in. That's just how I cook. It's hard for me to even guess how much I put in. I would say maybe a teaspoon of thyme and turmeric, and maybe 1 to 2 teaspoons of the sage, and then of course salt and black pepper. Also forgot to mention the main part of the hash, which is the meat. It's half pork and half ground dark meat turkey. It's basically, I'm just making my own sausage. That's what the spices are for. So it's like a sausage and veggie hash. So the onions are softening up and browning a little, and I'm browning the meat in a separate pan, and then I'll add the mushrooms and spinach and spices and stir it all together. So it's pretty simple. That's why I like breakfast hashes, and then I'll freeze them and eat them for breakfast. Alright, the meat is now brown, and I add the spices. I haven't tasted it yet to see if it needs more salt. I'm going to wait till I mix everything together. And the onions are nicely browned, so I just added the mushrooms. I'm going to let those cook down and then put the spinach in at the last minute just to wilt. Sweet potatoes are done, and so what I do is I put a little bit of these on the bottom of each dish and then put the hash on top of it. If you don't like sweet potatoes, you could also use white potatoes. Both taste good with it. Here's what it looks like at the end. I've combined the meat with the veggies, and I did add a little more salt and a little more black pepper, but otherwise it's perfect. Tastes really good. Hey guys, it is Friday finally. It feels like a long week. It's Good Friday, so belated Happy Good Friday.
You can tell it's Friday because Brian has the hat on.
He's celebrating. See, and you didn't even want to keep the hat.
What? It still hurts. There we go, that's good.
Yeah, so glad this week's over. I had to work a full day. He at least got to leave a bit early for Good Friday.
Nice.
But anyway, it was a busy week. I'm tired. But I'm looking forward to a good weekend without travel. I'm actually excited about that. I'm ready to relax a little bit.
So next weekend will be fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next weekend is the opening day for the Taste of the Carolinas Festival at Carowinds.
Good food.
I love that festival. I really do. It's really good food. They have a lot of seafood for him and a lot of, well, I wouldn't say a lot, but a decent amount, especially considering the size of the festival, of gluten-free
it's a good mix.
options. And it is a good mix. It's foods that are inspired from the Carolinas, so South Carolina and North Carolina both. And it's regional, so each booth is a different region from different areas. And plus, it's Carowinds, so then you can ride some rides too. Yep. So it's fun. So I was going to show some pictures
yeah, so funny. Walking down memory lane.
Memory lane. So I want to thank Missy from Sprinkle Me Disney Vlog and Britt from Extra Magic Hours Vlog. They both have great Disney vlogs. If you haven't, you should check them out. I will put links to their channels in the show notes. But we got to talking one day, and I mentioned that I used to have hair as short or shorter than Missy's, and if you've seen her hair, it's very, very, very short, and people have a hard time believing that I ever had it that short. It was not a good look for me. He definitely didn't really like it, and so I grew it out, which was even more painful because then I had sort of helmet head of curls for a while. It's very, very awkward.
Pencil top.
And of course, we decided to go to Germany during that period, so I've got like my awkward grow out phase.
Yeah, I see the picture of that.
Immortalized on film. But in the process, I found a really cool photo of my parents when they were younger, and I also found a funny photo of when I was in the 6th grade, and this actually came up today talking to Mike Karshti. I hope I'm saying that right, Mike.
Karshti.
Again, another vlog. I will put his link in the show notes as well. I was talking about, you know, the awkward stage you go through, like right before preteen, like around 12, when you've got braces and funny hairdo and a rainbow shirt, which, yeah, I know guys didn't have rainbow shirts, but I did. I found that exact photo. It's a school photo. It's pretty funny. And back then, it was really popular to have stick straight hair that you flipped right at your face. This is like early 80s.
Check it out.
Sort of Farrah Fawcett inspired. I think everyone loved Farrah Fawcett. That was from Charlie's Angels for those of you who are younger. So we'll check these pictures out now. So we'll start with a blurry picture, there we go, of my parents. I love this picture. I don't know how old they were exactly. I don't know if it says on the back. Nope. This is not when they were newlyweds because they married when my mom was 16. But this is before I was born because I would have been in this picture because this is a church picture. So they were pretty young. Mom was 25 when I was born, so this is sometime prior to her 25th birthday. Love the hairdo. And then this is my awkward 12-year-old picture. And it's just also a time capsule for that era because the hairdo, I spent hours straightening my hair to get it to do just like that and then rolling the front with the curling iron. And those shirts were very popular, and that bead necklace, you bought a gold necklace and strung gold beads on it. That was a thing back then. I don't know what kind of thing, but that was a thing. I guess it's the old version of something like Pandora, except much cheaper because at 12 it had to be pretty inexpensive for me to be able to have it. So then I'll start with the super short hair. This is
like, why does it look like I have a gut right here? Do you see that?
That's just your shirt. You were really thin there. That's like when you were biking.
Good.
No, that's just your shirt. You can tell by your neck, you're very thin there. And this was at a friend's wedding, and it was actually a candid shot that someone took. I think the photographer, it turned out, well, the candid part, I mean, but that is one of the only pictures I have of my hair that short. I did not keep it that short for very long because I wasn't a huge fan, and Brian was not a fan either. And then, the awkward growing out phase, yay. This was us in Germany visiting friends, and it's starting to grow out, and I basically could do nothing with it at this stage. That's as good as it got because of the curl. So that was really painful. Going from there to say chin length was super awkward. So the reason I said I wanted to thank Britt and Missy is in the process of doing this, we found a lot of other fun photos.
Yeah, we did.
And we also cleaned out I'm bad about putting photos in albums, so I cleaned all the loose ones out and put them in a box at least, so now they're kind of like somewhat organized. Also, thanks to Missy and Britt having me clean out my photo cabinet, which I know was not your intention, I found this guy, which I'd totally forgotten about. I don't know how he got in that cabinet. So pull him backwards.
Oh, wait. Oh, does he?
No, pull him back. Just roll him backwards.
Oh, it's one of these guys.
Yeah.
Here we go.
He's gonna go really fast.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh.
So good morning. It is Saturday morning. Our motion light went off. And it's a bunch of bunnies at the base of the stairs there. I don't know how well they're going to show up. It doesn't seem to want to focus on them. But it's pretty funny for Easter. There's more than one. They're just sort of hidden. Our yard is always full of bunnies. This is not unusual, but it is kind of cute right before Easter. They eat everything. So officially good morning. I know I said good morning while I was showing you the bunnies. It's Saturday the 15th. Yeah, the bunnies were cute. And Brian is making breakfast potatoes this morning. I think we've shown this, but basically we chop a whole onion, a bunch of red potatoes, and
Green peppers?
no, not for these. And then we put some oil on them, toss them in oil, and bake them on these sheets at 425 in the convection oven. And I couldn't tell you how long it takes. We just kind of check them and toss them once in a while, but it takes a while. That's a pretty slow cooking process. And then you got breakfast potatoes. Here's what the potatoes look like when they come out. Yum. And this will make a ton of servings, and we freeze them and they reheat really, really great because we got 2 pans. It is lunchtime, and we just finished recording a Pop Century review. So if you're thinking about staying at Pop Century or want to know what we think about it, that should actually probably come out before this video, if not shortly thereafter. So stay tuned for that. Brian got something at the Asian market. It's some type of seafood pancake.
They call it seafood and chive pancakes. And the seafood part of it is squid, cuttlefish, clams, shrimp, and mussels. It smells really wretched though.
Yeah, it really does. It is not appetizing. I know it's hard to tell on film, but oh, it's not appetizing. He likes to try some crazy stuff.
I do.
Me, I'm gonna make a quesadilla. So Brian is gonna try the seafood pancakes.
I don't know what kind of seafood's right there. It's something though.
Mystery seafood.
It's actually pretty good.
Really?
Tastes way better than it smells.
Yeah, you could put that garlic chili sauce, that Asian sauce on that. I bet that would be really good.
Yeah, that's good.
We are about to play Clank with the expansion Sunken Treasures. And Brian just pointed out that the cover is kind of funny.
It is funny. It's like all the adventures from this cover are over there, but they're all in scuba gear.
That's kind of funny. So here's the board all set up, and you've seen us play this before, so I'm not going to give you a play-by-play, but it's really fun. It's combination deck building, running through a dungeon.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
A new board from the Sunken Treasures.
Oh, cool. Alright, so we're still playing Clank. I'm the red guy, and Brian is the yellow, and he feels like he's doing bad, but I feel like I'm doing bad. I don't know.
You got a lot of points, and I do not.
I don't know, it's hard to say. And this with the expansion, I don't know if it's a fluke, but this is taking a lot longer. Usually this game's over pretty quick, it feels like.
I think that was the intent, though, of the expansion.
To make it a little bit longer.
To make it seems like your deck, really...
matters. Well, I like that better, because before it felt like it was over so fast, it's like, what's the point of building a deck? So I get it. We finished Clank, and poor Brian got knocked out.
That's what that means. Death cube right there. And I was like
he was so
space away from getting out.
So close.
So I would have had 20 more points. But would that 20 get me the win?
No, but we would have been much closer.
Yeah.
We would have had a tiny gap. So I ended up winning. It was 128 to 98. So what he said, if he got that 20, we would only have been 8 apart, which is pretty close. So that's a pretty good game. We kind of judge games by... if somebody gets like runaway, it's not very fun, because then one person's like, well, I know I've lost. So I got to give this game credit, because if you hadn't got knocked out...
she cleaned up the board down here.
Yeah, so here's what he's talking about. I picked up all these artifacts and bought a lot of stuff from the market. And that's what pushed me over the top, because my cards really didn't have many victory points, and his cards actually did have quite a few. Well,
once I saw she was cleaning up down here, I just started
focused on that.
High point cards.
So I mean, that's pretty close, because if you hadn't got knocked out by the dragon, we would only been 8 points apart. It's pretty close. So we had fun today and this week. It's been
another week behind us. Wow.
A good week. It felt like a long work week to me this week for some reason. It really felt long. Maybe because we had a 4-day week the week before. But it wasn't a bad week though, and it was a nice weekend so far. We've still got one day, but one goal I've been having is to try to take Sundays off from vlogging and just have one day a week of
a chill day.
Yeah, unless we're doing something really cool like a theme park or something that we want to film. I'm trying to kind of keep that low key.
Something coming up next week, maybe?
Yes, Carowinds, Taste of the Carolinas. We're very excited about that food festival. And I think we're also going to see some other vloggers there. So stay tuned for that. That'll be fun. So anyway, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. If you've enjoyed, please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and leave us a comment. Bye.